Hare Krishna. Let's begin with the prayers. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vanchakalpatrubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Tagore Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay. So I think in the last call we discussed that how Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they went to the Shringaveripura, met Guha, and Guha gave nice hospitality. Then after that, they boarded the boat. So, yeah. So we discussed that Rama, he reached Shringaberapuram and he accepted the hospitality of Guha. Then Sita Rama, they slept on the bed made of soft grass and leaves. And everyone were awake the whole night as if they're protecting Sita Ram. And in the morning, as Rama woke up, he gave instructions that they need to cross the river Ganga. So Guha constructed with his under his guidance, he constructed like a new boat, and they were ready to board the boat and cross the river. So at this time, Sumantra also he begged Rama that he will also come with him, and he tried to plead Rama to accept him. But Rama he denied, and he asked Sumantra to convey the messages that he has, and only when he returns, Kaikeyi, his stepmother, will be confident enough that Rama had gone into the forest. Then then now so upon now they reach the boat, Rama asked Lakshmana to help Sita Devi to step into the boat. So Lakshmana helped Sita Maya to ascend the boat, and Lakshmana stepped into it. Then Rama also got into the boat. Now Guha commands the boatman to row the boat across the river. So as they were crossing, Rama recites very sacred texts from the Vedas, which are fit for Kshatriyas, and all of them, they pay obeisances to river Ganga. And they bid farewell to Guha with his army of men, and then they bid farewell to Sumantra. Then and then Rama said, asked the boatman to start. So the boatman propelled his boat, and then it started moving across the river. When they came to the middle of Bhagirathi river, that is Ganga river, Sita Devi prayed to Mother Ganga, please protect Ramachandra. Bless us that we complete the 14 years of exile and we come back again to your banks safely. That means coming back to their banks means again that they will return safely. So returning safely with all my desires fulfilled, what will I do? I will worship you with great joy. I'll give you hundreds of thousands of cows in charity. I'll give, she mentioned all the charity that she was going to do, that she will give soft clothing and prasadam to Brahmanas. And she is going to worship Ganga with various paraphernalia. And in this way, Mother Sita, she prayed to Ganga, and they all quickly reached the banks of the other side. And from now on, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they will not be accompanied by anyone. And now they're going to enter the forest and begin their exile to the forest. So Rama said, Avashyam Rakshanam Karyam Adrishte Vijane Vane Agrata Gacha Saumitre Sita Tvam Anugachatu. So he says, Lakshmana, we need security in the forest. It is inevitable. And because we will also see unforeseen dangers. There will be unforeseen dangers, and most of the forest is uninhabited. So Lakshmana, you go front. Let Sita Devi follow you, and then I shall proceed in the rear, protecting you and Sita. He says we must provide protection here to one another. Sita will experience all the hardship of staying in the forest from now on. So today she will enter the forest where she will not see any density of population. There'll be no fields or gardens, and all the surface will be full of stumbles. So they all started. So they keep exchanging the places. Sometimes Rama goes front, sometimes Lakshmana goes behind. So they advanced. Now, on the other side of the bank, Sumantra and Guha, they were constantly gazing at Rama. They saw that they reached the other banks of the Ganga, and soon they started going deep into the forest, and their vision have failed due to the long distance. And as they were not able to see, all of them, they started shedding tears. So now Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they quickly progressed further, and they reached the land of Vatsa. That land of Vatsa had beautiful crops. By this time, it became evening. So Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they took some food, and they reached a tree to take rest for that night. Now, as I mentioned before, that as they were progressing into the forest, they had met many ferocious animals, many carnivorous animals. And as they were going, Medhyan Mrugan, this is what the words that are used by Valmiki Maharshi. Very ferocious animals were being killed by Rama and Lakshmana because they were attacking. See, on one dharma, on one principle, a human can kill an animal. When an animal is attacking you, you can subdue that animal. Okay, if that animal is it's not getting subdued, it's ready to kill you, then you can kill that animal. So for example, sometimes elephants, mad elephants, when they come into the village, they try to subdue the elephant with various methods. Okay, and so finally it gets subdued. But when it comes to tigers and lions, because their food is human flesh, carnivorous animals. So they're not going to destroy you. They're going to eat you also. So that time it is allowed that one can kill the animal, because to protect your life is of the prime importance. So they killed so many ferocious animals on the way. And finally, they had food for, just like the sage. So they had some fruits, some roots, and they rested under a tree for that night. So Rama, he did the worship of the Sandhya Vandana, of evening Sandhya. And as it was becoming dark, now Rama, he spoke to Lakshmana. He said that this night will be the first evening and the night without Sumantra, or without Ayodhya Vasis, or without the citizens of Shringaberapura. So from tonight, we must stay both awake during the nights to protect Sita. The safety and welfare of the Sita is depending on two of us. So Rama, Lakshmana, they made a nice bed of grass and leaves. Then Rama, he stretched on that grass bed, and then he spoke to Lakshmana. See, Rama does not want to force anyone into his exile. Okay, so what he spoke to Lakshmana was, he said, my dear brother, I think our father Dasharath Maharaj will not be able to sleep at all. But Kaikeyi, our mother Kaikeyi, she'll be very satisfied. And this place where they were taking rest, right, was also it was little high ground. Okay, there, and it was a dangerous place. Carnivorous animals were all seen everywhere. And so Rama looked at that. He saw that it is all very dangerous place. Why Lakshmana had to come along with me? So Rama said, "You, Lakshmana, why don't you go back and you take care of Kausalya and Sumitra? You go back." Then Lakshmana says, "My dear Rama, I have a weakness. I can go. I'll go. No, not a problem. But I will be alive as long as I see you. Then immediately I'll leave my body." Just like a fish, just like a fish. The fish lives as long as the fish is there in the water. The moment it is out of the water, the fish will die. Like that, Rama, as long as I see you, I will remain alive. And then he was shedding tears. Then Rama understood, okay, all right, no problem, you stay with me. So next day, after finishing their morning duties, they went to Bharadwaja ashram and they introduced themselves as Sita, Rama, Lakshmana. And he said, my dear Muni, we came here to this forest by the will of my father. Bharadwaja Muni, he immediately welcomes them. And Rama, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they see that all the animals in the Muni's ashram, in the hermitage, they were also living along with the Muni. And they found that animals do not have a natural animosity with other animals. Like a snake and a frog. Snake is a natural enemy for the frog. It'll eat away. But they were living together. A tiger or a lion was living happily with a deer. So the animals forgot their natural animosity. They were all living each other. This is the effect. This is the effect of a sage. So, and Rama, looking at all those things, he asked, my dear Muni, can you please suggest us where we can go? Bharadwaja Muni said, actually, he mentioned, my dear Rama, you can stay here itself. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay here. And but Rama insisted, no, we do not want to disturb you. It is our father's order that we go somewhere, that we have to live. So please suggest, we will live separately. So Bharadwaja Muni, he says that Rama, from here, if you go, he gives the address. Okay, how to go, where to go, which place is best, like a very dear when a grandson is going somewhere and he doesn't know the place, how the grandfather or the father gives the direction, like that he was giving. Avakasha viviktaha ayam mahan nadyoha samagame punyah cha ramaniyah cha vasatu iha bhagan sukham. He says that you go in such and such direction, you will find the confluence of Yamuna, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, the three rivers, confluence of the three rivers. And that is called as Prayagaraj. So this is a holy place of the confluence of the two rivers, which is secluded and delightful. You stay there comfortably. But Rama said, my dear sage, there'll be the people of city and rural folks are near to that place. So people who are keen to see me, Sita, and myself, they will find us easily at that place and they will keep coming there. So yes, it is secluded for now, but eventually they'll find this and they'll keep coming. So my dear Bharadwaj Muni, please suggest another place which will be secluded and which will be excellent for Sita Devi, because she is worthy for every comfort. I do not want to give any kind of a difficulty or discomfort to her. So please suggest such a place where Sita Devi, she can live happily. So thinking for some time, Bharadwaja Muni, then he suggests another place. This is, my dear son, 65 miles from here, there, from, actually where Bharadwaj Muni was also living was near Prayagraj or present Allahabad. So he says 60 miles from here, there's a sacred mountain. So on that mountain, you can build your hermitage. So that region, it is inhabited by great sages. It is very charming to look from all sides. It has species of black monkeys with long tail, apes and bears, and it is known by the name of Chitrakuta. And it resembles very closely with Gandhamadhana mountain. That is another sacred mountain in the upper planetary systems. So you go there, Chitrakuta mountain. So on that mountain, many sages, they spent hundreds of years in austerities. And from there, actually, after performing all those austerities, they reached higher planets. Some of them even reached the Vaikuntha. So Rama, that mountain will be very lonely. And there'll be so many waterfalls, there are so many scenic places. So I think it is a very comfortable place for you to live there. Or else actually you can stay with me here itself. You can stay here itself during the entire period of your exile. And but Rama said, yes, okay, I will go there. Please excuse me, but I will stay in the Chitrakuta mountain. So then Bharadwaja Muni, he discussed various topics by that evening, and it became night. So Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they were already very tired that day. So they spent that night at the very beautiful hermitage of Bharadwaja Muni. In the morning, after performing the morning rituals and sadhana, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they approached Bharadwaj Muni, and then again they said that it is better for us to live in the secluded place. So please give us a permission to leave. And also let us know exactly where on Chitrakuta mountain you want to build us the hermitage. So Bharadwaj Muni says, okay, see, this Chitrakuta mountain, it is there. You will find the place that they'll be rich in honey, roots, and fruits. He gave extensive description of Chitrakuta mountain. So it is adorned with clusters of trees of every kind of description, of every kind of species, that too sattvic trees. And that mountain is visited very frequently by the celestial beings like Kinnaras and Nagas. And you'll visibly notice herds of elephants and troops of the herds of deer wandering all around in the woodlands, in the woods. So you and Sita, you can nicely roam around that mountain, and you'll be very delighted to see the rivers, waterfalls, peaks of mountains. There are different rocks, caves, rivulets. You will see many white cranes, cuckoo birds, other species of birds there. So you construct a nice hermitage on that mountain and you settle there. So then Bharadwaj Muni, he bid farewell to them. He ensured their safety for the and he said that you safely come back on your return journey. I want to meet you when you return. You please come here. So he invited that when you return back to Ayodhya, you please come here back. So now Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they started their journey to Chitrakuta mountain. The sage also accompanied them for some distance, just as a father would go along with his sons and daughter-in-law for some distance. Like that, they came to some distance and then they bid farewell. So as he was walking with them, Bharadwaj Muni was walking, he was very lovingly describing the path that they should take to the mountain. He was telling, you see, after now you will all see that there'll be confluence of Ganga and Yamuna. You follow the river Yamuna upstream, okay, which will take you to the direction of the west. Then you walk for some distance. Then you will see there'll be a rapid flow of Yamuna waters. So you prepare a raft there, okay, a floating raft, a floating structure of timber and other materials like bamboo. And it's saying you fasten together, you make a raft, use that as a boat, as a floating platform. Then after use that to cross the river, after crossing the river Yamuna, you will approach a very large banyan tree. And that banyan tree is named as Shyama. And it is visited, that banyan tree is so sacred that it is visited by Siddha, upper planetary people. So Sita Mai, she should also pay obeisances to that tree and offer some auspicious prayers to that tree. So from there, you go for 2 miles from there, in certain direction. Then you will see a very beautiful forest, which is blue in color. And you will also see that bamboo trees are touching. It is so bent and it is touching the Yamuna river. There will be Shalaka trees. Shalaka trees are the ones by which incense sticks are made. It's a very fragrant tree. Shalaka tree. And you'll also find some jujube trees. Jujube trees are bear trees, Indian plum. And as you find those trees, then you'll understand that is you're going in the right direction. That is a way to Chitrakuta mountain. And Rama, I visited that place many times. It is very beautiful. And that forest is free from forest fire, because this is very important. See, when there is no forest, if there is a forest fire, then they cannot escape. There is no way that they can escape a forest fire. So if there is no forest fire, what does it mean? That means that forest is always wet, that there will be rain every month. So the plants and trees, they can't get dried. So they will be safe, very safe. So Bharadwaj Muni, he advised that Chitrakuta mountain is very good. So it is full of fruits. There are no carnivorous animals there. And they have beautiful scenic views. Sita Devi, she will enjoy nicely. So after receiving all the instructions, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they paid obeisances to Bharadwaj Muni. And then Bharadwaj Muni, after bidding farewell, they returned. He returned to his hermitage. So now Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they proceed. So Rama is telling to Lakshmana, you see, we are so fortunate that the sages are showing compassion towards us. So he was one of the quality of Rama, when Valmiki Maharshi first asked the 16 qualities. What are the 16 qualities? Is there such a person on this planet like that? And Narad Muni says not only 16, he gives another 16. So in that qualities, one of the quality is being gratitude, showing gratitude. So this is one place. He just helped, he just showed the direction and just gave the hospitality for just one night. But Rama is so grateful for that hospitality, and he remembers that. So keeping this kind of gratitude feeling in his heart, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, then they walk upstream of Yamuna, and they reach that point where the river is running with rapid stream. That means the river has become a little narrower, and it is a little down, downside elevation, down elevation, not like up elevated, but down. So that's why there was a rapid flow of water. So they reached that point. Then they prepared a big raft, with pieces of timber. They fastened together. They covered with a nice grass, and they spread over the dry bamboo canes. And Lakshmana, he made a nice comfortable seat for Sita Devi to sit. And that too, you see, Valmiki Maharshi mentions that what kind of branch. See, it is a normal raft, right? Just to cross. That's it. After that, they would never even use that raft. But even that raft, Lakshmana, how he made such a beautiful raft, that raft is so fragrant. So he used the wood of fragrant trees around, like sandalwood trees or red sandalwood trees. So he used the bark and the wood from those trees, and he made a nice canopy with various fragrant tree branches. And those tree branches were cut along with their fruits. So as Sita Rama, they sit on the nice seat, they can directly pluck those fruits from the branches. As Lakshmana is rowing the raft, they can just pluck it and eat it immediately. So the raft was fragrant. There were so much of eatables on the raft, natural. So after the raft was made, Rama, he helped Sita to mount that raft, and Lakshmana was holding the raft very firmly. And Sita Devi was feeling a bit shy. So then Rama, he kept all their baggages, because Lakshmana was holding the raft. Then someone should transfer the luggage, right? And what is this luggage? If you all remember, that this was the same luggage that Dasharatha Maharaj ordered Lakshmana. Lakshmana, you take whatever is required for Sita Devi to live like a queen, to dress like a queen. She should not be wearing the bark dress or the sage dresses. No. So all that luggage and whatever they needed, like a basket or a shovel, all those things. Then Rama, he transferred all that luggage onto the raft. They were all loaded onto the raft. So one may, and along with that luggage, there were weapons also. Weapons were also loaded. So one may ask why weapons are here. What did Kaikeyi ask here? Kaikeyi said, you live like a sage, like an ascetic for 14 years. So Sita, Ram, Lakshmana can live like a sage. The sages don't keep weapons with them. The sages, if they're attacked by the Rakshasas, by the demons, they don't protest. They are sannyasis. So they give up all kind of defensive activities, and they completely depend on the Lord's protection. Then why did Rama carry the weapons? That's because Rama had to complete 14 years successfully and return. See, if he's alone, that is different thing. But he's not alone. He's been followed by Lakshmana and Sita. And their protection is Rama's duty. See, a sannyasi is different. He's alone, right? If he will not defend for himself. But here, Rama is not a sannyasi. He's a grihastha. And the protection of Sita and Lakshmana is in the hands of Rama. So now there are so many dangerous animals, the demons, they will come and attack them. And if they don't defend, they might lose their lives. So what will happen? Okay, let them lose their life. What will happen? Then the vow that was given to Kaikeyi. What is that vow? That Rama has to be in forest for 14 years. He is exiled for 14 years. That vow will be broken. The promise will be, then the word will spread that Rama, he left his body without fulfilling the vow or promise. So to protect to protect his promise, his vow, they need to have the weapons. And it is the duty of Rama to protect the Sita. And that's how they can successfully complete the exile period. Then, so they quickly boarded the raft, and then they ferried across the river very carefully. So when they arrived in the middle of the river, again, Sita, she offered salutations to the river, paid obeisances, and she prayed, "My dear goddess Yamuna, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I'm crossing you. May my husband complete his vow successfully." So when Rama safely comes back towards the city of Ayodhya, I will please you by offering you 100 vessels of rice dessert, payasa, and he will give thousands of cows in charity to Brahmanas. So as Sita Devi is crossing every river, or when she meets every sacred tree like banyan tree, shalaka trees, she paid obeisances, she circumambulates, and then she offers prayers like these. So now they were on the northern bank of Yamuna. Now they reached the southern banks of Yamuna, because Yamuna was flowing from west to east. So they were on the northern banks first. Now they crossed and they came to southern banks. And then they abandoned the raft and they marched through the forest, the river forest of the Yamuna. I mean, along the side, wherever the rivers are there, right? Along those rivers, normally because of the abundant source of groundwater, there'll be nice forest. So they went through that forest, and they reached the cool banyan tree, which is called Shyama. And that's what Bharadwaja Muni also said, that you will reach this tree, you pay obeisances. So having approached that tree, Sita Devi said, "My dear tree, great tree, let my husband complete his vow. Let me see again Kausalya and my other very illustrious mother-in-law, who is Sumitra." So offering obeisances like this, she circumambulated that tree with joined palms. And upon seeing Sita praying like this, Rama said, he spoke to Lakshmana that, "Lakshmana, see, so you take the luggage and Sita and proceed in the front. I'll take all the weapons and follow you behind. And whatever Sita requires, whatever fruit or flower she desires it, and you give her that." So they started. Now all the luggage of Sita Maya was carried by Lakshmana, and all the weapons were being carried by Rama, and they were walking. So Sita Devi, whenever she saw a bush or a creeper which is shining with flowers and which was not seen earlier by her, she used to inquire from Rama, "Rama, what is this plant? What is this tree? What is this fruit? What is this flower?" And Rama used to explain the entire herbology to her. And Lakshmana also used to bring many kinds of beautiful twigs of trees, beautiful creepers full of flowers, fruits, and he used to offer to Sita Mai, and Sita Mai used to garland her and also Rama. So like this, they were all walking the river forest, which is along the banks of Yamuna. And Sita Mai was very pleased to see Yamuna. There were wonderful beaches, sands, water, like crystal clear waters, echoing of swans and cranes. So they were passing through this charming forest, and they reached a little high ground, and finally they thought to take a rest there for that night. So they all took some rest, and in the morning, Rama, he woke up early. But Lakshmana, after doing so much of service, he was in a very sound sleep, even though it was becoming day. So Rama said, "Saumitre shrunuvanyanam valku vyaharatam swanam sampratishta mahe kalaha prasthanasya paramtapa." Lakshmana, have you heard the sounds of wild animals? They are resounding beautifully. It is time for our journey to journey. So let's start. So then all of them, they woke up, they took bath in the river, then they proceeded towards the Chitrakuta mountain. As they approached the mountain, Rama is showing various trees and plants to Sita Devi. Oh Sita, you see this, behold this Kinshuka tree. And it has the, a diadem of flowers. Look at this Bhallataka trees. Bhallataka tree is a cashew nut trees. It is abundant in flowers and it is bent down with cashew fruits. And they're all unplucked by men. So we can certainly live here. Then he spoke to Lakshmana. Lakshmana, you behold in every tree, have you seen that? There are hanging honey combs. And those honey combs were with the sizes of a big water drums. That much honey. And honey is naturally dripping out from that honey web. So in this beautiful forest region, and there were dense, it was dense with, flowers. Then Chataka bird is crying. Chataka bird is again another pious, very sacred bird. Peacocks were responding to it. So they reached the Chitrakuta mountain, because these were all the signs that were given by Bharadwaja Muni. When you reach the Chitrakuta mountain, you will see all these kinds of signs. And as they were reaching, they saw that Chitrakuta mountain was it had a very high and mighty peak. And they could see that herds of elephants were going. There was a large congregation of various kinds of birds. So they all felt very happy, very delighted to see that Chitrakuta mountain. And Rama is saying, Lakshmana, you see, there are many great sages also. They have built this hermitage of this mountain. Let this be our dwelling place. Let us have a pleasant resort here. Iti Sita cha Ramascha Lakshmanascha Kritanjalihi Abhigamya Shramam Sarve Valmikim Abhivadayan. So Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they joined their palms, they approached the hermitage and offered their salutations to sage Valmiki. So Valmiki Maharshi was, at that time when Sita, Rama, Lakshmana were in exile, that time he was living at the base of Chitrakuta mountain. Valmikir Abhivadayan. So they offered their obeisances to Valmiki. So Valmiki Maharshi was very delighted that they have come to his ashrama, and he treated them with honor. They offered nice hospitality, nice foodstuffs for Sita, Ram, Lakshmana to take. And then after having some prasadam, they had a pleasant discussion with the sage there. And after that, Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, they left from that place and they went to another place to construct their hermitage. So Rama is saying, Lakshmana, looking at this charming and beautiful mountain, my mind is fascinated in living here. So you build, and then Rama instructs that you build a nice hermitage as per the Vastu Shastra, that in this place there should be enough room for Sita Devi to go around. There should be a living room, a nice kitchen, nice worshipping area, a courtyard, a porch. So he built a beautiful hermitage with thatched roof, mud walls, and various rooms inside. So imagine just a temporary raft how Lakshmana had built, with various fragrant woods and cooling leaves and fruits, branches of fruit trees with ripe fruits. Like that he created, in the same way, he created the hermitage with all kinds of different woods which give very nice fragrance, and the leaves, they naturally gives cooling effect, like the leaves of a banyan tree or the other trees, shalaka trees. They'll be very cooling and they give nice fragrance. So he got the wood, fragrant woods and cooling leaves. So he prepared walls with mud, and then the roof, the ceiling was with wood, fragrant woods, and a thatched roof. So he constructed everything within just within a few hours. As Sita Rama were having some conversation, nice conversations, as Sita Devi was asking a few questions. What is this? Because she's seeing all this for the first time, and Rama explaining all that. Within their conversation, as their conversation ended in maybe one Muhurta Kala, Lakshmana, with a great speed, he constructed that hermitage very fast. Then Rama, he performed the Graha Pravesha ritual, like the purificatory processes for the ritual, and then they entered the house. They were very delighted to see Rama and Lakshmana, Sita Rama. They were very delighted to see, and they were very joyful to see such a hermitage. And there was a river, Malyavati, also, which was going through that mountain. So enjoying all this beauty, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they could give away whatever the grief or sadness which was caused by the exile, by their exile from the Ayodhya. Okay, so so I'll stop here, and then tomorrow we shall continue from the next. So I'll stop at this pleasant, pleasurable moment that now Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they are happily dwelling in the Chitrakuta mountain. Okay, now tomorrow we will discuss the other parallel story, what happened to Sumantra and in Ayodhya. Okay, any questions?